Aha, there we go. Okay, we are up and streaming now. Everything's all good to go. I'm broadcasting live on float.app and yeah, float.app forward slash or Eureka John is my username on there. So if you go on there, it's flote.app. Anyway, this is Eureka Street Crypto, and I'm 7:40 in the morning, so it's a little later than normal. It's October 26th, 2021, and I do this every single day. I don't skip a beat. I'm having some, woke up late because I work from home today and was getting everything ready. And right when I was just about to hit the streaming button, my wife pops in the door and be like, "You're taking the kid to school today." I'm like, "Okay, okay, that's cool." So yeah, and so I'm on a little later today, 7:41 now, and hey man, whatever. It's still the morning, right? It still counts. So let's pop open. Oh man, they really put this lid on here hard today. Man, maybe at my old age, I'm losing my grip. There we go. Yeah, I feel like I'm losing my grip every single day. And then a little soda water. I I, I drink a lot of soda water. Um, anyway, so yeah, I do this every single day. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not shilling anything. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not your teacher. And yeah, I'm just some dude with a webcam. I'm camming. And I don't expect tips though. I'm not sitting there trying to bum tips either. This is my daily journey through the crypto space, and I'm yeah, just learning something new every single day. And this is my chance in the morning to do so. Usually I'm up before my wife and kids and everybody's up, so I'm it's real quiet in the house, and I have some time to actually do stuff. But it's a little later today, so that's why I do it so early in the morning, because then I have a little time before I have to be a dad, a husband, an employee, whatever else there is out there. So yeah, but yeah, I may say some things that are really out of whack and in left field and not necessarily true about some projects or cryptos and how they work and just in general about life. But hey, it's a video blog, so take it for what it is. That's all I gotta say about that. My opinions on some of these projects may change day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour. So yeah, don't take anything I do for financial advice. I'm surprised that I am still in the black as far as investing is concerned, because I make a lot of bad decisions. But then again, I make enough good decisions to kind of balance that out. So it's all part of the learning process. And I think that there's so many polished YouTubers out there, and moon boys and people looking at charts and basically stirring a stick in some dog poop and trying to come up with some kind of forecasted result, or propping up tokens. That it's just I just wanted to approach all this with just the whole point of view of just like, look, man, let's let's just show a human side of it. Like, we're all digging through this together. Like, nobody knows exactly what they're talking about or what's going to happen next in the market. And there's all types of new technologies rolling out every single day. It's starts off with layer one blockchains, then in comes DeFi, and that's just like mind blowing and revolutionary. And then comes in the whole NFT wave, and then now we're composability brought in along the same time of DeFi, and that was mind blowing. And then after that, the NFT boom. And then now we're going into the metaverse. DeFi 2.0 is coming out with this whole idea of learning how to control liquidity pools and protocols buying back their own liquidity, their own liquidity tokens in order to make the protocols a little more stable. I mean, it's just there's so many things going on right now. It's hard to keep track of what's going on, and it's hard to keep pace. So yes, I'm learning something new every day, and things will change, and that's just the nature of the beast right now. So let's move on here. Let's go on to CoinGecko and see where the market is at this morning. And okay, so Bitcoin is at $62,681.05. Ethereum's at 4,196.04. Binance Coin's at 486.01. Tether as the day of stablecoin, so it's $1. Cardano 216, Solana 207.45, XRP $1.11, Polkadot 43.89, the Doge 26, 26 whatever 96653, USD dollar, Shiba Inu some random number way less than a penny. And let's see what else we have here. Terra 44.25, Avalanche 69, yeah, nice, 66. Chainlink 31.96, doing good. Uniswap 27.78, Wrap Bitcoin 62.836. That's just Wrap Bitcoin. Okay. Polygon $1.82, Algorand $2. Let's see. Anything else interesting, special down here? Let me just take a long. Okay. Aave's doing good. 337.72. Quant 309.46. And all right. So yeah, it looks like there's a lot of Discord people getting hacked, and you know, if you're in Discord right now and you're getting links that's saying, you know, like some kind of free Nitro upgrade, or somebody wants to give you a Nitro upgrade, like don't fall for it. Somebody they accidentally clicked on a link, and then they got the username and password, and now they're going and spreading all these, you know, hey, you get a free Nitro membership. No, it's not free. You know, rarely is there ever anything free in this life. You know, my uncle Don used to say there's no such thing as a free lunch. You know, he was an outside salesman his whole life, and you know, he had he took enough people out to lunch in the commodities market that yeah, you know, I mean, I'm in sales in a commodity type of market, and I've had to take people out to lunch. You know, like, we know why I'm taking people out to lunch, you know. They know why I'm taking them out to lunch. It's no secret, and it's not because they're my buddy, you know. All right. All right, let's see here. So let's go into a project here. Somebody DM'd me and said, hey, man, take a look at this project. So, you know, like, yeah, sure. You know, I have an open mind. You know, I get sent some links to some really crappy stuff and some good stuff. So this happened to be something good, I think. So let's see here. Greenwood Finance. This looks to be an app that kind of aggregates different rates, kind of like I don't know, man, kind of like Yearn Finance or 1inch. You know, it's just that 1inch is whenever you're trying to do a swap, it finds you the best rate amongst a bunch of different DEXs, decentralized exchanges, for to do that swap, and it'll find the best price for you. Yeah, so let's take a look at 1inch. All right, so 1inch. Okay. And I use pre-search, by the way, not Google, just in case. So let's see here. 1inch, yeah, it took me right to it. So don't use Google if you don't want to just give away all your data. And I know I don't need to tell some people this, but some people need to hear this. You know, stop using Google. You know, like stop using all these centralized search engines. You know, you're just giving away your. I got off of Facebook. I still use Twitter. You know, like but yeah, whatever. All right, I'm just trying to show the pre-search logo here, and there we go, pre-search. That's it. So presearch.org, and you can it searches a bunch of different search engines for you and gives you the result, and you can add in your custom search engines if you want to add in things like start page and a bunch of other type of non-centralized search engines or non big corp data mining search engines and stuff like that. So anyway, 1inch. Sorry, I got completely 1inch.io. Okay. It's a DEX aggregator. And it basically searches a bunch of decentralized exchanges when you want to swap something, so it finds the cheapest gas rate for you. Okay, so this Greenwood Finance is kind of similar in the aspect that whenever you want to borrow on a lending protocol like Aave or Compound or DYDX or whatever, it finds the lowest rate, so. And Yearn Finance does this too, right? I mean, whenever you are, whenever you lock up your funds in order to earn interest, it floats around and it adjusts automatically based on the highest yields you can possibly get. But I think this one kind of does the opposite. I don't know if it adjusts automatically. Yeah. Okay, so the Greenwood router helps crypto borrowers pay less interest on their loans by automatically borrowing from the lending protocol with the lowest interest rate. So Yearn sits there when you lock up your funds in order to get the highest yield. It'll automatically hop around different platforms in order to get you the highest yield. Well, this one does. Looks like it does something similar by automatically borrowing from lending protocols that have a real low interest rate. So yeah, let's go on in, shall we? All right, let's go take a look, and let's see right here. So Greenwood Finance, you go into the app. It has all these different options right here. You can choose to borrow. So let's see here. It's to deposit. I'm sorry. So you have to borrow against collateral. This is not some kind of protocol that borrows based on your reputation and stuff like that. That's all cutting edge right now and at the bleeding edge of all this decentralized finances is borrowing against some kind of reputation score, a social graph, and stuff like that. And that's what Sublime Finance that I was talking about a week ago is attempting to do. This is not that. You still have to have collateral to borrow against. So, whatever. So let's say, DAI, right? 1,000 DAI. And so you borrow and you can borrow there's a lot of tokens here that you can borrow, So if you are a liquidity provider, that gives you a lot of chance to provide liquidity. Now, the beauty about a lot of these decentralized protocols is the protocol itself, the team does not provide the liquidity. It's the users. It's you and me that can go in here and provide liquidity for these. And then anytime a transaction goes through that, you receive a percentage off of that. So it's called automated market makers for those of you who are not familiar with this whole decentralized space and what that is. You can go in and provide liquidity of any of these tokens, 50% by 50%, and that way there's always a pool. So whenever some schmo like me comes in here and is like, I have some DAI, I want to deposit this DAI, and I want to borrow. Let's see. Let's go over here because let's look at the rates of some of this stuff. So let's go to right here, Aave. So Aave, deposit APY, borrow APY of 5.81%, 10.32% against the Gemini dollar. That's pretty high. SUSD 2.65, deposit APY 110. So let's see what we have here. Whoa, Ampleforth, deposit APY of $87,629.62. So say for I wanted to to add some liquidity into this because it doesn't have a whole lot of liquidity. Okay, so I could go over here to Greenwood, and so I deposit 1,000 DAI and say I wanted to borrow some Ampleforth right here. Okay, the max borrow amount is 19 Ampleforth. Okay, so don't know why it's giving me that. Hold on, let me see here. I think the internet's slow, man. Oh, I gotta connect my wallet. Okay. Yeah, so that's the thing with Web3 platforms. You always got to connect your. That's what makes Web3 is the ability to be able to connect your wallet to any of these protocols. Web3. So you have Web1, which is just your splash page. This is my little pet store. This is my little skateboard shop, and yay, here's the address, and here's the picture of the inside of the store, and here's Eureka John, who owns the skate shop, and we've been around business since 37 years, stuff like that. And then there's Web 2.0, which is like Facebook. You basically enter information and you create. It generates results for you and creates a page for you based on the information you enter. Or like eBay's Web 2.0 as well. You put an item up for auction, you upload a photo, you upload a description, and then it posts it on the web what you're wanting to auction, and then it allows that interaction with a centralized database that stores your information. And now Web 3.0 is the new way of doing the internet that allows you to connect to the blockchain, and it allows smart contracts and DeFi protocols and all types of stuff like that, because it allows you to connect your browser wallet, which I just connected my browser wallet. Let's see, why do I need to refresh this page? Okay, so Uniswap, so I could borrow 1,000 DAI. If I've used 50% of my borrowing power, I could borrow 13 Uniswap tokens. But I don't want to borrow Uniswap. I want to borrow Ampleforth. So let's see what's up. Ample. Let's see where it takes. Okay, so I could borrow 230 Ampleforth using 50% of my borrowing powers. So the higher your borrowing power goes, the more risky it is. Borrow rate 752.35%. And then it says the amount of your deposited collateral to borrow against is right here, the borrowing power. Selecting a higher borrow power increases the risk of your loan. Okay, so protocol Aave, yeah, so it's the only one that I can borrow from, and the rate is really high because, as you saw, well, I was going to borrow Ampleforth and deposit it into Aave, but it looks like that's the only protocol to borrow it on. So, and that borrow rate is 752%. So what it's doing, it's going and combing through these. So as you can see, it shows me the results for Aave, Compound, DYDX, Inverse, and WePiggy. But it's only available to borrow from Aave, and Aave is the place where I wanted to deposit it into. So I'm gonna have to find some place to buy some Ampleforth somewhere else, and yeah, maybe I'll go to Uniswap and then deposit it into Aave to try to get those rates. But the only problem is that this is layer 1 Ethereum, and layer 1 Ethereum is expensive, and I've basically at this point I've done some layer 1 transactions, like I bought some Olympus DAO and stuff like that, and I have it up on there. But I have some stuff on Alchemix and Bancor, but I'm basically, and I have stuff on Aave protocol, but that's stuff that was already there. If there's nothing more that's already there on layer 1, I'm not doing anything more on layer 1. I'm going to layer 2, Polygon, Arbitrum, maybe Optimism, the zero ZK rollups, the ZK whatever it is. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing layer 2 from now on. So yeah, because I think layer 1 is kind of more geared towards whales and institutions for now in the future. So yeah. So I probably won't be using this and let other people with maybe a little more Ethereum to spare on gas right now, until Ethereum fully goes into the full merge of Ethereum 1.0 to 2.0, and hopefully gas prices will get a little cheaper. But if you want to use a lending protocol, this type of aggregator is the way to do it. Let's see here. Let's just try another one. Let's say I want to borrow against my DAI and borrow some. Let's just do something basic. Let's just do Ethereum right here. Okay, so let me let this pull up, and I got 1,000 DAI. How much Ethereum can I borrow against 1,000 DAI? It's finding the results. And what you got for me? Maybe it's my internet. But while we are waiting on that result, and maybe I should just refresh the page. Hold on, let's see here. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to my DAI tokens. Okay, let's say 1,000 DAI, and let's borrow against some Ethereum. Okay. And so I could borrow 0.895 Ethereum at 50% of my borrow level. At 75%, I could borrow 0.134. Okay, and then right now the protocol is Aave. I could get 0.2% borrow interest rate on that. That's the winner. Compound's 0.286, and WePiggy's 4.21. So yeah, it shops around for me. So and I've done this before. I've gone, bounced around between different decks and looked for different gas fees, rates. I've bounced around between different lending protocols, Yearn, Aave, Compound, all the big blue chips, and some smaller ones, and tried to figure out which which one will give me the best yields and which one will charge me the least, and stuff like that, and tried to find that good balance. And it takes a lot of research, and you got to have a spreadsheet or a notepad or something to write down all this stuff with. And this kind of cuts out a lot of that, it seems. So I like that. So let's go into here and let's take a look at some of the documents here. So introduction: Greenwood swaps are powered by an AMM that allows people to control their exposure to cryptocurrency borrowing rates for any lending protocol on Ethereum. The protocol architecture enables liquidity providers to launch novel interest rate swap pools and earn fees from swaps. Anyone can create and use Greenwood swaps. So what's the use case? Interest rate swaps. Interest rates change with every block, which means that predicting the total cost of a cryptocurrency loan is impossible. Greenwood interest rate swaps enable borrowers to fix their APR on existing loans from any lending pool. This means that borrowers will receive a fixed rate on a much wider range of assets than a fixed rate protocol. So yeah, than just one protocol, it'll just span out and check them all. And it also allows anyone to fix their APR anytime after opening their loans. Oh, cool. So you can adjust it even afterwards. Changing rates also lend themselves to a healthy degree of speculation. Greenwood interest rate swaps can be used to speculate on the borrowing rates for any lending protocol without having to interact with the underlying protocol itself. So it does it all automatically for you. You don't have to think about that part of it and mess with all the technical details. If you think rates would go up, pay a fixed rate and receive the floating rate. If you think rates will go down, pay a floating rate and receive a fixed rate. Okay. And basic swaps. Lending protocols offer differing borrow rates, which can vary over time. Yep. And for instance, Aave gives you two choices that you can jump into. You can get the fixed or you can get the floating rate. And you can choose which one you want to do. This allows you to kind of do the same here. Let me go back to these docs here. Where did I go? Okay. So Greenwood basis swaps enable borrowers to essentially migrate their loan and pay the borrow rate from one lending platform without moving funds from the platforms the funds are currently allocated to. Wow. Some lending platforms offer supplementary token distributions, which a trader may prefer to earn, and basis swaps allow a trader to continue receiving these supplementary tokens while also paying a more favorable rate from another lending platform. That is pretty crazy. Because if you see over here on Aave, let's go back to markets, and you'll notice right here it has little tokens that you can earn along with the APY. And the borrowing. Even when you borrow, you can earn the Aave, the stake STK Aave token, and staked Aave token. So this one right here, if you borrow SUSD, synthetic US dollars, you can get a 3.44% APR of earnings of that staked Aave token. Now, what Greenwood allows you to do, it allows you to get that rate. But if there's a better rate somewhere else, from what I'm understanding, it looks like it can take that loan and move it somewhere else, but you can still earn on the staked Aave tokens because it's part of that pool, I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty mind-blowing that you can still earn those types of tokens, but get a good rate somewhere else. It seems, I mean, it seems pretty rowdy. But anyway, yeah. So what are interest rate swaps? Simply put, interest rate swaps are an agreement to exchange one interest rate for a different interest rate. Greenwood offers fixed for floating interest rate swaps, meaning that Greenwood will offer to pay or receive fixed rate in exchange for a floating rate. Okay, and then the basis swaps, what's that? Basis swaps are an agreement to exchange one variable interest rate for a different variable interest rate. Greenwood will offer to pay the variable interest rate for one market and in exchange receive a variable rate for another market paid by the trader. There's some more detailed explanations of what these are because I have like zero financial education. I studied theology, like very little to do with finance unless you're passing around the the tithing tray. What is an interest rate swap? An interest rate swap is a forward contract in which one stream of future interest payments is exchanged for another based on a specified principal amount. Interest rate swaps usually involve the exchange of a fixed interest rate for a floating rate or vice versa to reduce or increase exposure to fluctuations in interest rates or to obtain a marginally lower interest rate than would have been possible without the swap. Because in protocols like Aave and Compound and stuff, the rate, the floating rate, I believe, will depend on how much liquidity that they have in their pools, and how much. For instance, this Ampleforth one, this is really high right now because they don't have anybody to. All this Ampleforth has been borrowed. I mean, look at it. Available liquidity only 609.72 tokens, and there's 4,974,000 borrowed. So that rate is really high, 99.99% utilization rate. So it automatically, the protocol adjusted that floating rate to make the borrow rate super high. So whoever is borrowing this 4,900,000 and something tokens is probably paying an ungodly rate right now. Yeah, so that's kind of what these rate swaps do. They help to correct these types of situations, it looks like. And then here's a basis rate swap. A basis rate swap is a type of swap agreement in which two parties agree to swap variable interest rates based on different money market reference rates. The goal of a basis rate swap is for a company to limit the interest rate risk it faces as a result of having different lending and borrowing rates. For example, a company lends money to individuals at variable rates that is tied to the London Interbank Offered Rate, LIBOR, but they borrow money based on the Treasury bill rate. The difference between the borrowing and lending rates, the spread, that's what the spread is. This difference between borrow and lending rate. Okay. Leads to interest rate risk, which refers to the potential that a change in interest rates could lead to investment losses. By entering into a basis rate swap, where the company exchanges the T-bill rate for the LIBOR rate, the company eliminates this interest rate risk. All right. So, yeah, it's really this is good. I'm getting an education here on some of these basics, these financial basics. But then again, like I went through public school, and then I majored in Spanish in undergrad. And in graduate school, I got a master's in theology. So like I've never had any reason to learn any type of finance. So this has all been new to me with this cryptocurrency education, and it's amazing. It's an entirely different world out there from looking at things from the perspective of finance. So yeah, it's good to see how all this stuff works. And so here is where you can contribute to the pool. And so swaps.greenwood.finance, you can create your own swap. And let me connect my wallet here and see what's up with this. So you can long and short certain token pairs and stuff like that. You can bet on those rates and stuff like that. And longing is whenever you think something will go up, and shorting is whenever you think something will go down. And people in the finance world do this all the time. If they are longing something, they believe that there will be a price appreciation. If they are shorting something, they believe that price is going to go down. So if you have a short bet, and the price ends up going up, it will hit a point where it goes up so much that your short position, the money that you have put forth against that position, will be liquidated, and you'll lose that money. So it's all gambling. I mean, really. So yeah, I don't have USDC in this wallet, so I don't know why I had that up, but yeah, that's basically I was just kind of letting you take a look at the swap pool here. Let's see what we have available. So all these are USDC floating and fixed rates right here with Aave and Compound. But yeah, anyway, let's go back to this page here. So the swaps, what are those? Yeah, so right here is the pool contracts. Yeah, then they start getting into what the different methods and variables and stuff like that, and the solidity mean and stuff like that. So I mean, all this looks pretty cool, you know. If I were to borrow something and borrow on Ethereum Layer 1, I would probably use this product. But I think I'm kind of done borrowing on Layer 1 now. I have stuff already taken out on Aave, and in order to settle out at this point, it's going to cost me a lot of Ethereum and gas fees. And just a piddly little person like me can't really afford that with the amount of money that I want to play with. Now, if I were a larger investor with, you know, several $1,000s to play with, tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to play with, then something like this, you know, the Ethereum gas fees would be just kind of, you know, trivial, whatever. But yeah, it's just me, an individual, so I'm going to take all this stuff to Arbitrum Layer 2. It's funny because they do get rates from WePiggy, and WePiggy is available on Arbitrum Layer 2. So if you scroll down here, this is the portal.arbitrum.1, and if you scroll down, you can find right there WePiggy, yay! And that one's available on Greenwood Finance as well. So yeah, Aave, Compound, DYDX, WePiggy, what is this one? Inverse, yeah, BiFi, Beta, 4Tube. I don't never heard of 4Tube. Cream, Iron Bank, Kashi, Liquidity. Liquidity's doing stuff with the Bankless DAO, I believe. And then Rarefuse, and then Warp. Okay, cool. So borrow at the lowest rate in DeFi with no added gas costs. So it looks pretty promising. Doesn't seem to have a token, which might be an incentive for some people to go ahead and use it and kind of get their mark and their trade done in a certain protocol that doesn't have a token yet. Because if they do choose to add a token to this protocol, you could possibly be the beneficiary of said airdrop in order to bootstrap everything. Just like I was the recipient of the Uniswap airdrop and I was the recipient of the 1inch airdrop whenever both of them decided to launch tokens for their protocols, it could very well possibly be a chance for you to earn some tokens if they decide to launch a token for this protocol as well. So just keep that in mind when you see new protocols out there. I mean, DYDX did it, except for people in the US didn't get any. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to take a look at that and just kind of keep the show kind of casual today and browse through a new protocol and just kind of see what it looked like. You know, it's kind of what I do. I'm not exactly trying to do some kind of hardcore fundamental analysis on all this stuff. You know, I'm not trying to you know, break it down and, you know, try to figure out if this is going to be something good to add to your bag. You know, I'm not like that. But it's cool new technology, something new on the market, and yeah, I like finding out about new stuff. So yeah, sorry I didn't have that entire screen up on there for you. Well, shoot, it's near the end of the show. I did the whole show like that. All right, well, that being said, I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and I'll be extra early tomorrow, like around 5:30, because I gotta get on down to work. Today I'm just working from home. All right, well, I will talk to you guys later.